This is just common sense. Powerful foreign brokers were not forking over millions of dollars to the Biden family because of a crack addict who wrote off prostitutes on his tax returns. They were doing so because of his father, who had a lot of influence in regards to U.S. policy.
Loving this Washington Examiner reporter dropping truth bombs this morning on Fox News.
And even if it hadn't been for all of the evidence that James Comer and the House Oversight Committee have turned up, we would know that Joe Biden knows more about his son's foreign business dealings than he's letting on.
This is a really good point to remember. Elections matter. And with all our concerns about the election last time in 2020 and what's coming up, we got to get out there and vote. It makes a difference.
That the White House has deliberately changed its language on this subject from, no, I have never had any knowledge of my son's business dealings, to the president has never been in business with his son. That's a very deliberate change. So I hope that the committee does continue its work, because this is a question that's going to keep coming up, especially as we get closer to the 24 election. There was a poll that came out this weekend that found that less than 1/3 of Americans have confidence that Biden's Justice Department is handling this investigation into Hunter Biden fairly. That's a very large majority of Americans who are concerned with the partisanship of the DOJ and the cover-up that is now taking place. So if this is the message that Democrats want to, run with into 24, I think they're going to hit a real wall. And why slow walk the Hunter Biden investigation for years at a time unless you were deliberately trying to run the clock on the statute of limitations that could possibly incriminate Joe Biden? I mean, this is what people need to understand, is this is David Weiss's entire strategy. The reason the Hunter Biden investigation has been slow-walked for so long, and the reason that there was this diversion agreement included in the sweetheart plea deal that would have exonerated Hunter Biden from basically all crimes that he committed between 2014 through 2019, is because that way the clock would run out of time on the statute of limitations for the criminal behavior that Joe Biden has allegedly been involved in. Bravo to these IRS whistleblowers for coming forward and exposing that, because we now know, according to the New York Times, that the Justice Department would never have pursued this case against Hunter Biden at all if they had not been exposed. The sweetheart plea deal falls apart, and all of a sudden all of this new evidence reported by the New York Times is leaked. That's not coming from the White House. It's coming from Hunter's lawyers in an effort to embarrass the Justice Department for caving on this sweetheart plea deal. The message is very clear. If Hunter is going down, Joe Biden is going down too, and that's the threat that his lawyers are now sending.